There comes a morning, sooner or later, when a person wakes to find the world uneasy. The news is full of voices from faraway places. Leaders gather in bright halls, dressed in their best, talking about storms and peace and alliances that feel like threads pulling loose. Maybe you sit at the kitchen table, the chatter on the screen louder than yesterday, and you find yourself wondering, does America still set the example? Can these debates, from Davos or any summit, change the way your child sees her own country? Picture a long table in a grand hall, glass windows shining on leaders from many nations. Some faces are hopeful, others look tired or wary. Flags stand behind each chair, a show of unity, but behind the colors, there is worry. These are the scenes at Davos, where leaders spoke of climate and trading partners and the future of the Arctic. Some asked what will become of their hopes if America grows divided, or if our next election brings storm instead of calm. They debated big words, unity, order, uncertainty, and every sentence grew heavy with the question, does America still stand as one, or have we forgotten how? Let us not pretend this is the first time the world has wondered about the meaning of American unity. History has seen this before, when our own house shook with doubt, foreign eyes watched, measuring the cracks. Americans, there is reason to care but not to fear. Not all news is black and white. And the fate of this republic has never rested on any one meeting, nor one election, nor the hand of a single leader. It rests, as it always has, upon bonds that outlast the clamor of the hour. At Davos this year, Europe's chief spoke straight. Without order among the free nations, the storms of the world, of trade, of nature's change, of old rivalries, may only grow more wild. California's governor was asked about home speeches and coming contests. Greenland's leader, from the cold north, reminded all that just as nations eye each other's lands, so must they mind the dangers in their own hearts. Picture an American courthouse, morning sun against stone walls and flag, where neighbors gather on jury day. Some stand in boots, some in suits. Each waits, calm and patient, as justice takes no sides. This is the steady heart of a republic, more than speeches, more than far-off debates. The order of our own affairs, how we manage debate and difference. This is what the world measures most. Leaders at Davos talked of many dangers, but their greatest fear was not nature, nor the chill of the Arctic, nor even the quarrels between nations. It was disorder inside the homes of free peoples, a union made fragile by mistrust among neighbors. Imagine a family in a small living room, the air heavy with silence, each person holding a different paper, each reading a headline that makes them shake their head. But then the youngest stands to read aloud from a small book, and all listen. For a moment, disagreement softens. They remember they belong together first. America's strength is her unity. Not agreement on all things, but a common ground of law and trust. The world does not trust the word of a nation at war with itself. Let us remember, public debate is the mark of honest liberty. We may differ on climate, on trade, on the best path to peace. But if our rivalries grow into bitter fights, we risk shattering the very house we all live in. Think of a school gym on election day, lines of people waiting to vote. Some hold coffee cups, some clutch hands, but most wear faces of quiet hope. They know that neither cheers nor shouting will count for much compared to a simple private mark on a ballot. The leaders' talk in Europe matters, yes, but it is the patience of neighbors, the self-control of each citizen. These are the bricks in the strong wall of our union. What is at stake is not only how much influence America holds, but how true we are to the idea of a republic. A republic, as I have often said, is not the plaything of the powerful or the property of any one party. It is a trust. Each person is both keeper and beneficiary. Let us not be drawn into fear. We must not give way to those who shout that the sky is falling every time the world's winds change direction. Instead, let us return to what has always worked best: keeping our tempers, guarding our laws, and holding close the threads of civil peace, even when the voices from afar grow loud. Picture early morning in a small town, dew on window glass, a deliveryman waving to a farmer, both beginning the day. The town feels steady, the troubles of the world a few pages deep into the morning's news. Here, in simple work and mutual trust, is where the future builds itself. Citizens, your country is watched, but never let worry from afar shake your duty at home. A strong nation comes not from scolding the world, but from the quiet discipline of sticking to its own principles. When you hear about the Arctic, about elections, or about foreign leaders fretting over American tempers, remember, your republic has seen many storms and sudden calms. The surest guide is not excitement, but order, not anger, but patience, not suspicion, but reasoned trust. The world's faith in American steadiness begins with our own calm at home. So let us carry this thought a bit further and ground it in what we see and do each day. Picture a clerk early at the polling place, unlocking the door with last year's flag under her arm. She sets the tables, arranges the ballots, then stands aside as the first voters arrive, not to cheer for this side or that, but to keep the promise of fair process alive. That clerk acts for everyone. No one asks how she voted. Her oath is to the rules, not to any faction's cause. In her ordinary care, democracy is made real. Or imagine a family dinner after news of world events. The father sets down his phone. The mother asks each child, "How would you make peace in a world like this?" The youngest shrugs, but the oldest replies, "Maybe we start by making peace here. We do not need grand speeches to strengthen our union. We need the small acts, done in patience, day after day." Think of a map on a classroom wall, colored pins marking countries. A teacher asks, "Why do other places watch our elections with such interest?" A student says, "Because what happens here shows if people with differences can share power in peace." It is a simple thought, but it carries much weight. The Republic is not built on force, but on the daily pledge each citizen makes to obey the law when he wins and accept the outcome when he loses. That silent agreement, harder than it seems, is the real source of order. Picture a small cafe at dawn, one table with old veterans, another with young students, everyone starting the day in their own way. Neither suspects that the peace they share is earned by the unseen efforts of millions, respecting rules, paying taxes, keeping tempers in check, trusting a process bigger than personal wish. Think also of the person walking past City Hall in the rain, pausing to glance at the marble words carved above the door: justice, liberty, union. She does not need to march or to argue online to add her strength. Sometimes, just living well and refusing to hate adds a block to the great foundation. Never forget, the Republic was made for people of ordinary hopes and simple courage, not for those who shout loudest, nor for those who seek only their way. So if each of us guards our conduct, at home, with family, at work, in the street, online, if we listen more, blame less, act with dignity instead of alarm, then leaders abroad will see proof that our union holds. Picture a sunset on the main street, stores closing, neighbors saying goodnight, dogs barking as the sky turns gentle. This is the Republic at its root, not perfect, but bound together by daily trust. No foreign meeting, no headline, and no politics should make us nervous if we keep our own promises. Order at home must come first. Calmness, self-control, faith in the process. America's strength is her unity. We will disagree, sometimes fiercely, but so long as we honor the rules, the Republic can be saved. So as you watch the news or worry over the future, I ask, how will you guard the peace where you stand? Will you help make this house safe for all, regardless of the storm outside? The answer, as it always has, lies in your hands, your words, your steady heart. Let us each prove in small ways that history can trust the people of this Republic to meet the present hour. And now I ask you, what kind of citizen will you choose to be, knowing that America's strength begins at home and that the world is watching?